guys, today we're going to be making sun catchers or bead curtains, whatever you want to call them. And today is going to be a tutorial, or I kind of just make them with me. But before we get started in this video, I want you guys to do me a big favor. Hit that like button and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can see more of my awesome posts. Okay, so first off is what you need. First, you're going to want to need... First, you're gonna need these crimp beads. So you can do them in gold or silver. I have them in both. So I'm gonna be using gold today. But you can use any color that your heart desires. And then you're gonna want pliers or crimp bead like thingies. Specific pliers for crimp beads. But I just have regular pliers today, so just gonna have to use those. Scissors, your beads, and we'll get talking to those later. And wire like this, really thin wire, or fishing line, or like a string that's like fishing line. So like it has to be sturdy and it can't break whatsoever and it can't stretch. So yeah, you're gonna need to ask your dad about that and see if you have any fishing line. So yeah, this is basically all you need, and let's get into talking about the beads. Okay, I had some technical difficulties, but let's just stay still. Okay, here are the beads. So you can see that I chose these ones, and I have some other ones that I'm gonna put in here, but they're like glassy, kind of see-through with sparkles. So this kind of looks like a raindrop, and you know, rain and sun makes a rainbow. So if I have the sun and I have these in front of the sun, it's gonna reflect. So I'm gonna use these beads. You can personally use matte beads, you know. You don't have to use them as sun catchers. You can just use them as curtains, which is perfectly fine. But I personally think this is gonna look really good. You can already see it reflecting from my mirror, my lamp. Not my mirror, my lamp, yeah. Okay, so now that you have all your items, let's go to preparing. Okay, here's my wire from Hobby Lobby, and you can make it however long you want. Just make it a little longer than your window. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna wanna make a loop knot, and if you don't know how to make those, then just go on, YouTube or Google, and it'll teach you how to make one. They're really simple to make. And I think personally, anybody that's into crafts should know how to do a loop knot. Okay, so here I have made the loop knot, and with wire, you're going to want to wrap the extra tail just around it, like so. Okay, but if you have fishing line, then just leave the tail hanging or cut it, but I would just leave it till after. And you're going to want to make this loop big enough so it fits through the rail that your curtains hang on. And that's basically it for wire. You don't have to use crimp beads, but yeah, that's basically it. So you don't have to do anything else but put the beads on. So you're going to want to string the beads on until you have about 4 inches left of wire or fishing line. Okay, so just do that and you'll be almost done, okay? And I'll get back to you, and it's going to be like 30 minutes for me, but it's going to be like 2 seconds for you. So bye. Okay, now I have about a little more than a foot left of wire, and I think I'm going to trim it because that is a lot. I don't need that much. I can save that for another project. Alright, now I have about 6-7 inches. 6-7. That wasn't intentional, okay guys? Alright, so this is what it should look like. It should be all filled up with beads all the way up to however long you want it. Personally, I want it as long as the window, maybe a little longer. Okay, so if you're not using wire and you're using fishing line, let me show you how to use a crimp bead. Okay, so here's the crimp bead. It's very small. You're going to want to find the hole, put it through the wire, just like a bead, and normally you would slide it all the way up to the end of that bead, but since I'm using wire and I don't want to put it there right now, and I'm just going to take it off later, I'm going to put it right here for now. But if you have a fishing line, then you're going to put it right here. But you don't need this for wire. This is just demonstration. So you're going to want to grab it with your pliers, and press press as hard as you can. Okay? And now and it will not come off. And so when you tip it over, the beads won't fall off. Okay? So that's what you're going to want to do if you have fishing line. But if you have wire, you're going to want to take it down. So you're going to want to take this wire, take it down. Take it down and grab your last bead and wrap it in between the second and last bead. Okay? Wrap it around the second to last bead and the last bead. So just wrap it right in between like that. Like so. And if you can't do this and you think a crimp bead would just be easier, then you may use a crimp bead for wire. No difference. Alright, and then I normally like to go through the second one and the third one. Okay? And you don't have to wrap it all. I normally just cut it off once I feel like it's good and secure. And there you have your sun catcher bead curtain. This took me, let me see. This took me about 30-20 minutes to make. And I say you should definitely make more. It'll look better if you make a lot. Let me show you my window. Okay, I don't want to show anybody's houses because, you know, of house numbers and everything. But this is my window. I have this many. Trying not to show anybody's houses just for, you know, safety reasons, private reasons. So yeah, this is it up here. I have it whole entire, and obviously I'm gonna make more. And if you're a kid or somebody that's never put up curtains, I say you should ask a parent or somebody else that has experience with putting up curtains to put these up just like curtains and put them up right in the middle. So basically what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna take that rail down and slide those curtains off to the edge. Make sure they don't fall off at the edge and put them in through that part. Because there's two, and they come apart in the middle. 2 railings. And just like so, you made yourself a beaded curtain. Follow for more, and make sure you comment down below your favorite thing that you have made out of beads. And make sure you comment down below your favorite thing that you have made out of beads so far, because that will be our question of the day. What's your favorite thing that you've ever made out of beads? So I hope you guys loved this video. Bye!